Hey, welcome back. In continuation with our previous video where we dived into the history and tried to look for the origin of the meditational practices, in this episode we are going to discuss about the different kinds of meditation. Now you must be wondering, talking about meditation, we often visualize this, isn't it? However, it is not all. Meditation, a set of practices or a way to achieve mental settlement, where all our senses at their best of their capabilities. And this practice or way can be many. A research by Sven Davanger speculated that the meditation practice can be as old as Neanderthals. And some of what that we do know in present day, that there always been a core person who has been instrumental in spreading these meditational practices. So let's start where we ended in our last episode, 6th century BC, where Taoism and Buddhism emerged. But apart from these two popular meditational techniques, there were also many other, and in this video we are going to talk about them. And in order to do that, we have to dive into history again, shall we? The first one is Mahavira and Jainism in India. During 6th century BC, Tirthankara Mahavira, also known as Vardhamana, is credited for popularizing Jainism. Tirthankara means ford maker, and the word indicates a founder of a tirtha, which means a passage across the sea of births and deaths. Mahavira was the 24th Tirthankara. As a practice, Jainism places a strong emphasis on self-discipline, contemplation, as well as non-violence. The meditative techniques in Jainism specifically focus on mantras, visualizations, and breathing. The second one is Confucius and Confucianism in China. Confucius was a Chinese teacher, politician, and philosopher who existed in the 6th century BC again in China. His teachings and thoughts were expressed through the philosophy known as Confucianism, and they are still quite prominent in present-day China. Confucianism places an emphasis on personal growth, morality, and social justice. Meditation in Confucianism is known as Qingzuo and has a focus on self-improvement and contemplation. Tosho in Japan. Tosho was a Japanese monk who traveled to China and studied Buddhism under Xuanzang during 7th century. Xuanzang was a Chinese Buddhist monk, scholar, traveler who traveled to India and translated Indian Buddhist scripts into Chinese. When Tosho returned to Japan, he introduced the doctrines of Weishu school to Japan, which is known as Hoso school. It became the most influential Buddhist school during 7th and 8th centuries. He also opened first meditation hall dedicated to the practice of Zazen, a sitting meditation. He created a community of monks and students with a primary focus on teaching this form of meditation in Japan. Along with these three popular Eastern meditational techniques, we have a couple of additional information to share them here. Judaism and meditation practice. Some evidence has also connected meditative practices with Judaism, thought to be inherited from its earlier tradition. These are generally based around deep thought on philosophical topics and prayer. The Torah, the first 5 books of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, it contains a description of Patriarch Isaac going to Lasuach in a field. According to the researchers, this term is generally understood as being some form of meditation. This Jewish esoteric method and school of thought of Kabbalah also includes some of its own forms of meditation. Next is Sufism and meditation practice. Sufism is an ancient Islamic tradition that dates back to 1400 years. It is a practice in which Muslims seek to connect with Allah through self-reflection and contemplation, and through shunning material goods. It is thought that through some Indian influence, Sufism developed its particular practice of meditation that includes a focus on breathing and the use of mantras. The Arabic word zikr, reminding oneself or mention, is a ritual prayer or litany practiced by Muslim mystics, or often called as Sufis, for the purpose of glorifying God and achieving spiritual perfection. Fikra is also a method Sufis may use in their striving to achieve oneness with the God. So, to sum up, starting from the origin of meditational practices, we discussed how the original Hindu practices influenced Buddha and his practices. Later on, Chinese monk Xuanzang, through whom it traveled to China, later Japan, and other Eastern countries. In addition, we also shed light on Indian influence on Sufism as a part of Islam. The pipeline episodes will also discuss how these meditational practices traveled from Eastern countries to Western countries, and how much we know about meditation when it is looked through the lens of sciences. Check out this space in few days. And meanwhile, let me know how did you like this episode and what else you would like to know. So see you in our next episode, and thank you so much for being here today.